Where's Fielder? He's gone to the dogs.
Well, a big ho-ho-ho to you. It's Christmas week, 2025. Who would have thunk it that we made it this far, this many trips around the sun? For me, I think this will be about my 79th Christmas. And my guest here this morning, he's had a few more than I have, but not many. Nubbin, how you doing this morning?
Hey man, I'm doing good, and I'm pushing 85. I'll be 85 in February. So,
oh man,
I've been here a few more years than you, but not many.
Well, if you know, it's like my dad used to say: if he knew he's going to live that long, he would have taken better care of himself.
I've heard that said before, and I agree with that.
Yeah, well, we couldn't have a Christmas podcast without you and me getting together and just shooting the bull a little bit. We're running behind because we didn't get to catch up on our ride over to the White River this year like we usually do.
That's right.
But I sure
you didn't miss much. I'll tell you that. We had a good time, and we enjoyed the fellowship. We didn't tree many coons, but we had a good time. We ate real good, and we drank some wine, talking about the hunts. And
you
we done
did.
all right.
Yeah, for my listeners out there that don't know it, now Nubbin makes some pretty good homemade wine, and it's usually made with muscadines or scuppernongs or some of the native berries there in Alabama, Sweet Home, Alabama. And how long you been making wine, Nubbin?
Well, I've been living here 28 years, and I started right after I come here. My buddy, one of my old hunting buddies, he's been quit several years. He was making wine, and I went down one day and he showed me what he was doing. So I started doing it. So I've been doing it ever since.
Well, you're following the good example of our Lord and Savior. You know, he was a winemaker. He made it out of water, and I guess that's what you make it out of ultimately, isn't it?
Well, I put water in it. I mash the berries up, and then I put water in it and a few chemicals and yeast after it sets a while, and then let it ferment.
Yeah, we don't want to give away all your secrets, but it does go mighty, mighty well on a cold night in Arkansas after you've been chasing those dogs all over 160,000 acres. And had a cold ride, usually on a side-by-side or four-wheeler back to the truck. Yeah, and when you get into the camp and get your boots off and go over there and find out what kind of snacks there might be, a piece of pie or some oatmeal cakes, or it's hard to tell what all. But
I like Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its, yes, sir. I love Cheez-Its, and I just bought a great big box of them at Sam's Club. They come in two big plastic container or bags in there, and I have to for my brother. My brother lives down here now, and when he comes over to watch a ball game or something, he hits the snack cabinet pretty hard.
When you're watching the ball game, you gotta have them snacks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And coon hunter's just about that bad. My dad, we called it a goodie bag. We'd have a bag full of snacks. We'd sit in the truck on the bench. We had a bench seat in the truck and set it in between us. And I've often laughed about we'd pull out of the house going somewhere, plot days or up to the mountains bear hunting or whatever, and he'd be munching when we pulled out of the driveway, and chances are if there's anything left, he'd be munching when we pull back in. So he always said he ate to keep from getting hungry. He said he wasn't hungry, but he just ate to keep from getting hungry. So, well, I like to eat, and that's my biggest problem, and I've put on some weight, and all of us put a little around our middle as we get up in up in years, but
Well, I've got too much. I've lost 10 pounds this fall, but
yeah.
uh, I was trying to lose a little weight. 'Cause like you, my stomach was getting too big. It's either
Mm-hmm.
buy some more pants or lose a little weight.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I've heard all kinds of excuses about that. One guy told me, he said, "Man, I'm not fat. I'm just fluffy." You know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, we was talking about that wine a minute ago.
Yeah.
Our buddy Morris Hardy over in Mississippi, he calls that liquid sleeping pills. Yeah, that's what he calls it.
That's his NyQuil or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to promote the abuse of alcohol in any
No, we
form, but we
Hey,
also,
listen, the way I feel about that, if you have a drink every once in a while, if you have a drink of wine, I see nothing wrong with that. But if you let it take away from the family and you go to abusing family and the family neglecting because you got to buy something to drink, I think that's a problem.
yes, it is. And we're taught moderation in all things, be moderate with it, but enjoy. God put those grapes on this planet, and he gave us the sense to make some of us. Now, I wouldn't know where to start. I'd be like a bulldog.
If I can do it, anybody can do it, the way I look at it.
I'd be like a bulldog chasing a fire truck. I wouldn't know.
Well, they got a recipe book how to make wine. I've got one.
Yeah.
But, if you follow step by step, you can make wine. It make anything, really.
Yeah. Well, you told me one time you can make wine out of anything. So,
anything it
yeah.
will ferment or basically rot, you can make wine.
Well, I don't know if the
recipe for tomato wine, and I got one for onion wine. Now I don't know what it would taste like, but there's a recipe in that book.
Onion wine. Wow, boy, that sounds good. I bet you'd probably need to chase that with a bottle of Listerine, don't you?
You may have to, yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, this is Christmas time, and it's always a special time to me. I hope I never get too old or too cranky or too set my ways not to appreciate Christmas. And, of course, we say it's for kids, it's a big time for them. And
well, I'm just a big kid myself.
Well, that's it.
I don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up.
That's right. We haven't. The jury's still out on that, isn't it? We don't know.
Yes.
We don't know. But man, we have. Speaking of that and growing up and things, we've had some mighty, mighty, mighty good times over the years hunting. As we think about the White River, I think of so many good times that we had there, and with the different ones that some of them are not with us anymore. Some of them have moved on, like Mr. Fred Sanders and Kenneth Raines are no longer with us. And I think even, back before I was involved at all, you were out there with people like Ed Beard and Jarvis Umphers and I don't know how many, Nubbin. Your experience out there goes a lot farther back than mine does.
Oh, yeah, I've been going out there. Well, my first trip out there was in 1969, and I went with Ed Beard and Jarvis and 2 or 3 more. Carl Meinhardt was there, and I don't know, a whole bunch of them. That's where that reunion that Philip Herron has every year started back years ago in the 60s over at White River.
Yeah, and you mentioned Carl Meinhardt. What a great guy, and he's passed on now, too. It just seems like that, as I've said on there many times, and it's old, but I have to say it again. My buddy Nathan Eds in West Virginia told me, he said, Steve, we're standing in the checkout line. And
I'm in the head of the line.
You're going to be, you got any coupons?
I'll pass them on to Ella. She can give them to you.
There you go. Usually when I get in the grocery line, the one in front of me's got about 20 coupons.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't blame them. A little bit saved along helps out.
That's right. Oh man, don't get me started on grocery shopping. The other day, Ella and I got to talking and said, boy, it'd be good to have a pot roast, a good old Southern style roast with carrots and potatoes and celery and onions and all that. And she knows how to make them taste so good. And that beef is so tender, it'll just about melt in your mouth. Well, we started looking at a chuck roast there in a public supermarket.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a little over 2 pounds. Just a few cents less than $40.
Hey, that meat is terribly high. That's the reason. I don't deer hunt anymore, but I thought about starting back where I could eat that deer meat. I like deer meat myself.
Yeah. Well, we weren't deer hunters in my family, although we did kill a few over the years, and so I didn't grow up eating venison much, and my earliest experiences with it weren't real good. Eating it at other people at homes or what they'd prepared, and it seemed kind of dry to me and gamey, and all. But there's ways you can fix old Rudolph where he tastes pretty good.
Yeah, I used to eat a lot of it. I didn't deer hunt any growing up. There was no deer around here when I grew up. But then when my son came along, he coon hunted with me till he got bigger, and he found them girls something better to play with besides coon hunting. So, but he wanted to deer hunt, so I started deer hunting for 10 or 12 years there. But I don't deer hunt much anymore. But he wanted to go, so that's what we would do.
Well, yeah, and I can remember running home from squirrel hunting one evening, all excited to tell my dad about I saw deer in the field. And it was right along the breaks of a gorge there, a piney river that goes through there, and it's real rough. And I guess those deer had come across from our airport, which was over across the gorge. And, I'd never seen any in the woods where I hunted, and I look out there and there's deer grazing, right there before dark. And I don't know exactly what, but I was in high school. I know I was in high school, just been squirrel hunting. But anyway, yeah, well, that venison's pretty good if you know how to fix it. That old boy, we've mentioned him before, down there in the south unit of the White River Refuge,
pretty good.
Fixed that backstrap pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about Christmas a while ago. Today is what, Wednesday?
Yes.
Saturday, I'm going to have a house full of kids, grandkids, great grandkids, and a couple of neighbors over here. And it's going to be Becky's been working all week trying to get ready for them. Of course, I've been helping her, and everything got to be in place.
Oh, yeah.
Everything got to clean up. But anyway, there's going to be, I think she said about 30 grown up here,
Oh, my
and then a bunch of kids. So I don't know where we're going to put them all to eat, but I'm bringing in some more tables to put around the living room and everywhere else. So.
Well, you got a beautiful home, and Becky will find room for them, I'm sure, between that big kitchen and big dining room and all that. And yeah, man, that sounds like a great time.
Older buying presents for all of them. We play Dirty Santa every year.
Yeah.
If you go, I tell folks I'm not rich and I'm not poor, but I have to watch what I spend. So, back to, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe or something, we started playing Dirty Santa. And to tell everybody, bring a $25 gift. If you're a man and a woman, put it, women on one side, men on the other. And you still with me, Steve?
I am. Yeah, I'm listening.
I heard something click off, and I thought I might have lost you.
Well, my neighbors over here are trying to do lawn care. They always try to wait until I'm ready to record a podcast and then they start cutting.
I don't hear the lawnmower running.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, but okay, so Dirty Santa, how's that work now?
Everybody brings a $25 gift or somewhere close to that, and if a woman brings a woman gift, a man brings a man gift, and put them on each side of the tree, and then everybody goes and draws one, and then you can steal a gift if you're somebody that got something you want, and it's just fun to do, and that's what we started doing several years ago.
So now I can just walk up to you and say, I want your gift.
Right,
and you got to give it to me.
Let's just say I got a box of shotgun shells and you wanted them.
Then
you'd come over and say, you wouldn't say nothing. You just come over and get it. And then
you don't have any fist fights?
No. Some of them may not like it, but they get a chance to steal something else.
I see.
But that's a lot of fun.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The kids, that's still in high school and younger, we get them a gift. And they're in a separate pile. But now, when they get grown, they play Dirty Santa, just like my grandson, Steven. He's 25 now, just got out of college a year or so ago. And he plays Dirty Santa with us now. But the little kids, they all want a doll or a teddy bear or something. They want something.
Sure.
They don't want to play Dirty Santa.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was a kid, we didn't get very much. One year, my brother, Robert, is 18 months younger than I am. And a lot of times we'd get the same gift. One year we got one BB gun. And I remember...
In other words, you had to share the gift, right?
Yeah, we had one BB gun between us. And then I remember it was still daylight or dark when we woke up, run in there and see what Santa Claus had brought. I was probably 10 years old.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, we was afraid to go outside, and in the dark we didn't know what was out there, so we shot that BB gun through the screen, and boy, my daddy wasn't too happy about that.
Well, I imagine not.
That BB's not gonna make a big hole. I won't hurt nothing. I'm afraid to go outside.
Yeah, why not?
Didn't like it later when Daddy got up and found all them holes in that screen wire.
Oh yeah. Well, that was kind of like my cousins and I were, when the family would gather at my grandparents' farm in Tennessee for Christmas. I had two cousins that are the same age of me, boy cousins, from different ones of my dad's sisters, and then the farm boy up the road, Kenneth. So there were four of us that were all, all alike, or same age is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. And we had, BB guns, and we get into that. And one time it was Grandma had fixed fried chicken, and my uncle bit down on a BB. And that was kind of the end of the BB guns there for a while. So I don't know. I'm not going to confess to shooting that chicken. I don't remember doing that, although I don't put it past me, at that age to do something like that. But
sometimes you don't need to admit to it, just let it go.
No, it's better sometimes, It's kind of like the old saying is, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission,
That's exactly right.
My dad was a stickler about that, though, around home. He didn't want me shooting the songbirds with the BB gun.
No, Daddy didn't either.
Yeah. He said, you leave the birds alone.
We went out there one night. My brother and I went out in the field behind the house, and we, at night, with a flashlight, was shooting them birds, and my daddy didn't like it, so he put a sheet over his head, act like he was a ghost running around us out there going, ooh.
I bet.
So we got to shooting at him with a BB gun.
He probably wasn't too happy about that, was he?
No, that's okay. He got over it, I guess.
I see. Yeah. Well, it's my dad. I have some notes somewhere. I was trying to find them here, but I don't know if I can. Just a minute here. I'll look. Probably not. But he wrote some stories for me, some accounts of what things were like when he was a kid. There on what we call the Piney River. It's still called that, of course. But that was what everybody in that community called it. You lived down on Piney. And it was titled those notes, Christmas on Piney. And he talked about what it was like back then. And I know my grandmother always had a fresh cut cedar Christmas tree. Cedar trees grew pretty common there in that country, and there weren't any like pines or firs or those kind of trees, and so she always had a cedar tree. Sat in the living room and had those old-fashioned bubble lights on it. Do you remember those?
Oh, I do remember them bubbling up. Yeah.
Yeah, you can still buy those online. In fact, I did a few years ago. I bought some, but they're made, in Hong Kong or somewhere, so they're not very good. But yeah, remember those Christmases so very well. And Dad, it was kind of like what you said. He remembered one time getting a little wind up. It was a donkey and a cart, and you wind it up, and the donkey'd kind of rear up and go around in circles and stuff, but I think his brother broke it. His older brother Phil was a couple years older, and he had a younger brother Julian that was probably a couple years younger than him. But he told about them getting a wagon one year for Christmas, Sharon, just like you and your brothers with the BB gun, and they decided they were going to hitch it up to a calf. And they tied it to the calf's tail. And that calf got to running and bucking and run through the fence and broke the wagon all to pieces. So that was the end of their Christmas wagon.
Like me, one time I was going to ride a big bull,
Oh, yeah.
My neighbor had some cows, and there was an old milking barn there. So they was going on vacation, and me and my buddy Herschel knew that. So I told Herschel, I said, they're gone. Let's go up there and get one of them big yearlings, and I'll ride that thing. So we put some feed in the barn, and them cows come in there and went to eating. And I put them stanchions over his head where he couldn't get out. So I tied a rope around right behind his front legs.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to ride that thing. So I got on there and I told Herschel, I said, open it up. So he opened it up. I didn't even make it out of the barn. I was flat on my back on the concrete floor.
Whoa.
And what was so funny, we couldn't catch that little old bull to get that rope off of him. So we had to leave it on him.
Uh-oh. And then there were some questions. Yeah.
The neighbor come home. He probably knew what had happened. I'm sure he did,
Yeah. Did he tell your dad and you get a licking for it?
No, I didn't tell nobody. Some things you don't need to tell.
Some things just left better unsaid, aren't they?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Well, the point is that we had fun growing up, and we didn't have a lot, but what we had was enough, wasn't it?
Exactly right. I didn't. Nowadays kids get more from their birthday than I used to get for Christmas. We get one or two little things. That'd be it. But of course, my daddy, we didn't have that kind of money growing up. But
no,
but we had plenty to eat, had a warm place to sleep. I don't know what else you'd want.
Well, Christmas there in West Virginia, where I grew up in a neighborhood. The houses were small frame houses that were built right after World War II. When the boys all came home from the war, there wasn't enough homes, enough houses. I was a first wave baby boomer. I was kind of like Philip Heron, our buddy from Mariana. He said the second thing my daddy did when he got home from the war was to sit down his duffel bag. So there was a whole lot of youngins up and down that street where I lived, and the houses were fairly close together, and they were houses that were set long ways on the lot, not like you later would build a ranch house, and the widest part would be facing the street. These houses, they went back, so you kind of. They weren't really shotgun houses where you had to go through every room to get to the back, but you went up on the porch and through the door, and the first room you came to was, we called it the living room, and then if you and you went on back, then that was the kitchen. And to begin with, it was just an eat-in kitchen. There was a table and chairs there. And, of course, we were a small family. It was just my brother and me. And then if you took a left there between the living room and the kitchen, there was a little hall like there, and there was a floor furnace that sat right there, and that heated the whole house. And then to your left, back toward the front of the house, was a bedroom, and back to the back of the house was a bedroom, and then the bathroom sat in between those two. And just one bath and 2 bedrooms and a bath. That was pretty much what all those houses were like, where I grew up. And Christmas, it sat on a hill, not at the top of the hill. The hill went diagonal up, like if you're standing in the door looking at the street, you'd be looking downhill to the right and uphill to the left. And I can remember Christmas Eve, the Christmas tree always sat in front of the window. And Mama always had it decorated. Back then it was, icicles, tinsel. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. And the lights and all. And, well, there'd be, hot chocolate, and that's what we called it. We didn't call it cocoa, but something like that, and cookies, But now, back in the early days, people in our part of the country opened gifts on Christmas Eve. Did you ever do that?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
But there was some gifts, but then Santa Claus come after a while.
Yeah. After you went to bed, that's when Santa showed up.
I remember one time when my son was about 4 or 5 years old, 6 maybe. I had bought him a swing set and all to go out in the yard. That was going to be one of the Christmas presents. So my neighbor Herschel and I, the kids had been put to bed. So we were out there with the floodlights on, putting that swing set together. Well, Scott woke up and come in there hollering, Mama, he said, I got a swing set. So she said, oh, no, you ain't got a swing set. Said, yeah, I saw it out the window. So she made him go to bed. So me and Herschel had to get the swing set, put it around the other end of the house. And then Gail had to bring Scott in there and show him there's no swing set out here. You must have been dreaming.
You're going to traumatize that boy.
Yeah.
Oh, me, that's...
You're talking about your house growing up. Well, we didn't have running water in our house till I was about 12, 14 years old. We had a toilet down behind the house.
You had like 4 rooms and a path, didn't you?
That's right, we did. And then we had a well down the hill. We'd draw water and tote it up there for Mama to wash. But then when I don't know, I might have been 12. Daddy had a well drilled in the backyard. Then we had running water on the back porch in the kitchen. And we didn't have a bathroom in the house till I went in the Navy. And when I come back, he had a room, for it, but it was a big closet when I was growing up.
Yeah, I can remember. Now, we always had an indoor bathroom when I was a kid, but a lot of people in the communities around my town there still had the what we called outhouses, Right. But my grandmother, I can remember so well when I was a kid and on the farm, and of course lived out in the country, and they didn't have any yard light. any mercury vapor light or anything around. It was just pitch black outside, and I'd have to get up to go to the bathroom, and I'd be afraid and want somebody to go with me, and my grandmother would say, "Now, Stephen, there's nothing out there in the dark that's not there in the daytime. So you'll be just fine."
Yeah, but you don't know that you can't see 10 foot in front of you. You don't know what's out there.
That is correct. Oh, my goodness, some memories. Well, I guess when you're our age, Nubbin, that's what we've got. And I'm so thankful that I have those memories.
Me too. I'm thankful that I've got, I tell you, I am blessed to have what I've got. I don't have that much, but I've got all I need.
God's been very good to you, Nubbin. Very good to you.
Yes, life has been good.
Yep, for sure. And I always enjoy the opportunity to share you and Becky's home every once in a while as we go on these trips together, and it's always a great time when I'm there, and I can just imagine what the stories you're going to have for me next week to tell me about all these kids and all these adults I
tell you what, I'm gonna have to tell all my grandkids what's causing them babies. I think I need to have a talk with them.
They maybe need you got some of them might be like the Ella and I were trying to think the other day that name of that family had all the kids that was on TV, the Duggars. We finally figured out. Yeah, and she said, well, their children are following right in their parents' footsteps, But the good Lord, the Bible said to be fruitful and replenish the earth, So
well, they're doing it.
That's right.
Now we have got, I think, 9 great grandkids.
Wow.
And we got 8 or 9 great grands, and we got 2 in the oven.
Oh man, well that's awesome.
One of them going to be born. Well, these next 2 are going to be boys, or that's what they say.
Yeah. Well, it's
probably for the grand girls.
Well, it's probably for the betterment of society, but our family hasn't been very prolific. Now, my mother and dad were both from families of 9 kids, and that was common, back in those days.
Oh, yeah.
But then my parents only had 2, and my brother and me, and then here my brother had 2 girls, and I just have 1 boy, and I got 1 granddaughter on that side, and Randy's now got his first granddaughter. Little Lennon came along, and she's a delight, and he he wears that phone out showing me pictures of that baby that they send him, But family, friends, good food. Do you all usually have turkey on Christmas, or is that just Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think we got 2 Boston butts coming and a turkey, and I don't know what else we got.
Yeah.
When you got that many people, you got to have a bunch to eat.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one of the things that
we got to go back to the store. I thought we spent over $200 the other day to the grocery store. And then now she informed me we got to go back today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's, eating is one of my favorite pastimes. And at our age, Ella and I, we don't spend money on much except food. She cooks mostly here at home, but we like to go out too, and that's expensive nowadays, but man, I enjoy it. We go to church. We like to go out for lunch after church.
Oh yeah, we do too.
Yeah.
Several of us, a group of us go out every Sunday.
Yeah, that's good. We
got leftovers. We can go home and eat. No, we'll save them for later. Wind up feeding them to the dog or throwing them out.
I'd like to give a shout out to a company, and I don't know if you've got it up your way. Do you have honey baked ham up in your area?
I'm sure they do, but I don't know that.
Oh man. You get a honey baked ham, you can get it with the bone or without the bone. Mm-hmm. You can get it spiral cut or
Oh yeah.
And then for Thanksgiving this year, Ella bought a honey baked turkey breast instead of doing the whole turkey. Oh man,
Well,
those
Becky's oldest son, Jeff, is he's smoking a butt and maybe two, and then a turkey. So that's
oh
what
yeah,
he's gonna bring that over here.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great, and good food just goes with fellowship and with
that's right.
family, and you can gather around some good food, and the stories start to roll, and the laughter, and all the
One
things
time,
that makes that season so enjoyable.
I just thought of something I wanted to tell you. Back
Yeah,
years ago, my mother would cook dinner, and she'd cover it up with a tablecloth and leave
yeah,
it on the table.
yeah.
All right. Well, one time we come back home, and somebody had come by the house, two people, because they dirtied up two plates, and they made them a lunch and sat there and ate it and left the dirty dishes on the table, covered it back up and left. I asked mother later. I said, "You ever find out who come by here and ate dinner?" She said, "No, nobody never admitted it, so I don't know who it was because we never locked the doors.
Yeah,
The front door didn't even have a lock on it, and the back door had a block of wood nailed to the wall. You just twisted that block
twisted
over
it.
to lock the back door. So you could come and go as you wanted to, because we never locked doors
Oh
when I was a
no,
kid.
no.
I
That
never
that's
had anything happen. But somebody come in, ate them. Two different people come in, ate lunch while we were gone. Never did find out who it was.
well, you would think they at least take the dirty dishes and put them in a
No,
dishpan or something.
they just ate and left.
Well, that custom of I was talking to Ella about that. I think at Thanksgiving, that custom of putting a tablecloth over the food and just leave it set there on the table was common throughout the South.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it was in the North or not, but and
Well,
then
Becky would have a fit if you left something cutting out for her for a while and then don't eat it again.
oh yeah, yes sir. I live with one of those. She checks every date, Best Buy date. She
Oh
says
yeah,
that's
yeah.
over date. Don't eat that. Yeah, I said,
So anyway, it's no good. I said, Becky, that's still good. No, it's going in the garbage. I'm not. It's the date. There's a date on it. I said, that is a sale date. That ain't bad date.
that's right. I'm with you, Nubbin, but my Ella is exactly the same way. Well,
Well, I threw a pack of chicken away yesterday that had a 24 date on it. And out of the freezer. And she said, "Oh, throw that away. That's no good." I said, "It's been froze. It'd be okay to eat it." She throwed it right in the
yeah.
garbage can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the same thing here. And when there's just two of us, like you guys are, it's easy for things to go over.
Oh, yeah.
We just, you get a bargain on something. You say, well, I'll buy two of those. These BOGOs at the public supermarket have got me, man. Buy one, get one.
Oh, yeah.
It. Ella told me no more salad dressing, no more barbecue sauce, because I'd bring it in 2 bottles at a time.
Well, it'll go bad after a while.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, Nubbin, I just wanted to catch up with you here at this special time of year. Won't see you this Christmas. We don't usually see each other at Christmas, but we haven't made any plans. I don't know if have you been thinking about going to Winter Classic or
Talk about it. Everybody wants you to do birthday. My birthday this year is going to be Thursday night, I think. So,
yeah. Well, you're the birthday boy, and they always have a big cake with some young girl jumps out of it, don't they?
oh yeah, just jump right out of the middle of it.
Yeah, in your dreams. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Well,
You're dreaming about a lot of things.
that's right. That's right. Well, I'm going up to the Grand American, and
Okay.
it'll be just a few days after this airs. It starts on New Year's Day this year. We always go up on Thursday, and the Chamber of Commerce has a I call it a banquet, a dinner for all the vendors and all every year at out at these Edisto Gardens that they have there in Orangeburg, and it's a real nice room and Purina does their Coonhound Awards for show and hunt at that dinner, and they do it upright. They grill the steaks and baked potatoes and all the trimmings, and it's just a great time. So we'll go up for that on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday. This year got a couple dogs hunting in the hunt, so I'm going to be interested in that. But Grand American always starts the year off for me, and as long as I'm able, I want to go,
Oh, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Don't blame you.
Well, okay.
Well, listen, I've enjoyed it, and you and Ella, hope you have a big Christmas. Hope everything goes good. It's going to be fun here Saturday. I know that.
Yeah. Well, my brother's down this part of the world now, so we'll be with him at Christmas. My son, of course, he's up in Chicago. I'm not sure what they're doing, and Ella has daughters in New Jersey and one here. So I'm sure we'll be getting together with Jackie and Caitlin and Tyler here as we usually do. And just, man, I tell you, this voice is giving me a fit. But anyway, Merry Christmas to you and Becky and all the youngins, and hope you wish you good health in the coming year, and hopefully you and I will get to put some miles on that old truck and have some fun.
I'm going to still go till I get too old.
Well, that's
right. Going to be?
I don't know, buddy. You're not there yet, I can tell you.
Yep.
Guy asked me one time, said, "You been a coon hunter all your life?" I said, "Not yet."
That's right, not yet. Yeah, that's right.
All right, Nubbin Moore, Sterrett, Alabama. So good to talk to you, Nubbin, as always, and I'll catch you down the road, brother.
I'll talk to you, my friend.
Okay, that's Nubbin Moore. Everybody knows the black and tan man from Alabama. Won Autumn Oaks with a black and tan dog. Won the whole thing back in 1984, I believe it was. And he and I have been running buddies for a long time. And a Christmas episode wouldn't be the same without Nubbin. Want to take this opportunity, folks, first of all, to thank W Hunting Supply. Buddy and Jess Woodbury out there in Washington are such great people. They're innovators. They've brought a lot of really nice products into our sport, especially the graphics, the T-shirts, the hats, all the special things they do. And they handle, all this electronic equipment that we find so essential nowadays. Garmin specifically, and all the updates and the technical support and all. They just do such a great, great job. And as I mentioned in the last podcast, they have the sweepstakes that when you purchase items at W Hunting Supply, you get tickets that you can participate in the sweepstakes. And the sweepstakes is quite elaborate, really. I mean, you can win $1,000 in W Supply store credit as the first prize, and then it's graduated down through 5 places like that. They have the drawings periodically on apparel. If you buy shirts, hats, hoodies, anything like that, you get 3 for 1, 3 tickets for each $1 spent. So go to dusupply.com, check it out. Those are such good people, and they make this podcast possible. So we're really thankful to Buddy and Jess Woodbury, and we want to wish them and their families a terrific Christmas. I always want to remember my good buddy Mark Zepp with Zepp Predator Calls. You can find all his great products at markzepp.com. In the second portion of our podcast today, folks, I want to bring to the microphone Danny Jones down in the state of North Carolina. He is the guy that is promoting a hunt in February called the Carolina Classic in Salisbury, North Carolina. Without further ado, let's bring Danny on. When I first saw the announcement about the Carolina Classic, I was excited because I had an awful lot of good times there at the Rowan County Fairgrounds in Salisbury over the years, and I'm sure you did too, and a lot of other coon hunters around the country. I want to applaud you for bringing a hunt back there, and I'm just really interested, I'm sure my listeners are, about what's going on, what you got planned and all that.
Well, on Thursday night, we're doing a Bob Shive Memorial. I know you remember him.
I know Bobby Shive really well. I talked to him many times there at the Rowan County Fairgrounds, usually. For our listeners who don't know, Bobby was injured in a hunting accident and was confined to a wheelchair for many years. Had a very famous Walker stud dog named Gold Hill Tom.
Yeah.
Do you remember him, Danny? Did you ever have an opportunity to hunt with him?
I hunted with him, yes, sir.
Well, man.
I hunted with him and Lou.
Yes.
Which is the grandma and grandpa of Lipper.
How about that? That's absolutely right. One of the most famous coon dogs ever. And right. Gold Hill. That's, is that an area of North Carolina, or is that around where Bobby lived, or what? Where did that name come from? Do you know?
Well, Gold Hill is close to the area where Bob lives. See, I only live a mile down the street from where Bob is now, where Bob was living.
I see. Is Bob, he's no longer with us, is he?
No, man. No, sir.
Yeah. When did he pass? Do you remember?
He's been dead probably, I'd say 3 years. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly the date.
Sure. Well, he was a really great guy, and I always enjoyed talking to him. And sure, I've known down through the years, Danny, several coon hunters that got injured. Now, Bob, I think, was injured falling out of a tree, wasn't he?
Yes, sir. That's what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I even got to hunt some with him after he was disabled. That he would, Ben Rogers' daddy, Wayne Rogers, used to ride him around, and he'd sit in the station wagon and listen to the dogs.
I remember. I know Ben real well too. Is he hunting still?
No, I don't think he is anymore. He's living down toward the coast, and he's not hunting any at all.
I think he used to hunt quite a bit with Jeff Shue, maybe.
He did.
And, of course, Alan Shue. I know you knew Alan and probably hunted with him a lot.
I did. I used to handle a lot of his dogs.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I was the one that made Tar Heel Peggy a night champion.
Well, how about that?
And that's the mother to...
Nitro?
No, not Nitro. But here
hey, now you're pulling my tricks here.
Yeah,
I'm the old man here, Danny. I'm allowed to do that. Here. Oh, are you? Well, you're just a young man. I got you by 7 years.
Yak and Tar Rattler.
Tar Rattler.
That was Peggy was his mama.
That's right. Yeah. I remember that name from the pedigrees for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I have Jimmy Meeks on my podcast every once in a while, you know. And,
yeah, he's a friend of mine. Good man.
Right. Absolutely. A lot of good people down there in Carolina. Well, you know, for the listeners here, I always like to give a little bit of background. And the Southeastern Treeing Walker Association Walker Days was held every year in February there at the fairgrounds in Salisbury. And I think maybe it started out, I don't know, did it start in Lexington or?
No, it started out in Madison.
That's right, Madison. That's correct.
And I went to the first two they had up there.
Yeah, well, I
And
remember
I was
those.
a young man then.
Yeah.
And I said if I would never go back up there because it was straight up the hills.
You didn't, you wouldn't have liked where I grew up hunting in
Probably
those
wouldn't.
hills of West Virginia. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and of course Gene Tyree was involved back in those
I
days.
remember him. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hunted with Gene a few times, and yeah, well, a lot of history there. That fairgrounds in Salisbury, was always packed, and that event was growing by leaps and bounds, especially in terms of all the vendors and everything that was showing up. But then I think they had some problems with having enough parking, maybe, and all. Do you know that story?
Well, that's not the problem with it there. It got to where a lot of the people just didn't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
And to have a hunt, you've got to work it. It can't work itself. You got to get out and hustle. And that's what I've done to this. There ain't a day go by that I ain't doing something with this hunt, trying to get everything in line. And there was a few things that went on that now it's got too many members in South Carolina, so it won't never come back up here.
Yeah, and it actually was founded, Southeastern Treeing Walker Days was founded in North Carolina, as you said, in Madison, and really was, I don't know that it was intended to be that way, but was largely staffed and supported by people in North Carolina, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And see, this hunt that I'm putting on, I named it the Trapp Hill Coon Hunters Association. And the reason I done it, that's a tribute to the forefathers of the Southeastern. Alan Shue, Bob Shive, Max Summerlin, Towhead Smith.
Yeah.
They all went around to these clubs, Clyde Lyles, they all went around to these clubs and got all these clubs involved to bring the Southeastern to Salisbury to keep it from going to Virginia because they didn't want it in Virginia.
I see. Uh-huh.
And that's why I named it the Trapp Hill Coon Hunters Association, just to tribute to those people.
Well, I remember that.
A lot of these young people don't even know about that.
Right. Well, I remember that as being the group that did host the Southeastern Treeing Walker Days. Yeah. I don't know. Do you know what year it left Salisbury?
No, I don't.
I can't remember that exactly either. And I have been to Union, South Carolina a few times. I haven't been here in the last 2 or 3 years. But any time that an event has been held in one location for a number of years, like the Southeastern Treeing Walker Days was, it gets it's kind of like the hometown feel. People get used to coming back there every year. And, of course, it was February, and I remember it very well because when I went to work at UKC in 1983 full-time, the first hunt that I worked was Southeastern Walker Days. I came down from Michigan. I started to work in January, and that was in February. And I'm sure I didn't miss a one, down through those years, and even came back after I went to the other registries, so. Well,
I was there at the first one, and I stayed there until after Alan passed away, and then I just kind of got away from it.
Randy Hogg, such a tragedy there that we lost him, and there's been so many, down through the years. That you mentioned my buddy Max Summerlin. Now, Max and I go back a long way because when I first started with UKC, Max was a field rep or became a field rep pretty quickly thereafter, and I used Max as my master of hounds at virtually every major event that we put on, down through the years at World Hunt and at Winter Classic and various ones. Max is quite a a story of resilience.
He's been around a long time.
He's been around a long time. He's had a heart
And
transplant.
he's still here. Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord. He lost his dear Shirley, his sweet wife, here a few years ago. But Max is just one of those salt of the earth people that if you know him, you would readily agree. Just a terrific fella. And David Garden is another one that's in a wheelchair now, and just so many people that are basically giving their life to this sport, David.
That's right.
Danny, I want to call you David. I don't know why. But, okay, well, all right. Now, to follow, naturally people think, well, you're going to Salisbury. Is this going to be like the Southeastern? What's going to be going on? I've got your ad in front of me, and it looks like, I know at the Southeastern they had the Allen Shoe Hunt on Thursday night. You're going to have a Bob Shive Memorial Hunt on Thursday night, right?
Yes, sir.
That's January 22nd, and you've got a $35 entry fee on it, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And now you're paying back cash.
$1,000.
Yeah, as I understand it, first will get $500, second $250, third $150, and fourth $100.
Yes.
And plus you're giving trophies in that hunt to the top 5 dogs, right?
Top 10.
Okay, now in your ad it says trophies for the top 5.
We've upgraded a lot of stuff.
Okay, I've got an old copy then.
Out tomorrow.
Okay, well I've got an old
come
copy.
Out tomorrow.
All right, well good. And that will be on Facebook under your page, or where will that be?
Well, we have a Trapp Hill Coon Hunters Association website now.
Okay, and for the listeners, now that Trapp is spelled with 2 P's.
Yes, sir.
TRAPP, a new word, Hill, Coon Hunters Association. And this new event, again, is called the Carolina Classic.
That's
right?
correct.
All right. So then on Thursday night, now that's open to anybody. You don't have to qualify for this Bob Shive hunt, right?
No, sir. But all 3 nights are open to anybody, any kind of dog, anybody.
Okay.
But to win the money, you've got to be a Trapp Hill Coon Hunter Association member.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
$20 membership.
All right. Well, this old ad, I think it maybe says that down here. Yeah, at the bottom, I see that. I just lost my ad. So we'll have to go by your notes then. Well, anyway, that's great. I always have been a guy that likes to continue traditions, and that area has such a good, strong tradition of coon hunting. We mentioned Jimmy Meeks earlier, and several times over the years that I talked to Jimmy, he talked about what a good time he always had coming to Salisbury, that a group of them got together. I guess they had like a cabin or something there where they all stayed and just had
a lot of them stayed at Allen's house and around. They just motels. There's plenty of motels.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of restaurants and everything you need in Salisbury.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, it's a bustling community, and there shouldn't be any. I always stayed there at the Holiday Inn on, I think that's Jake Alexander Road there, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, just good times for sure. Now that's coming up though. Although the Southeastern was a February hunt, this one's coming up this or the first month, January, 22nd, 3rd, and 24th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything about the hunt that you'd like to tell my listeners, Danny?
Well, I just want them to know that there are going to be plenty of vendors. We will be in 2 heated buildings, which before, we had to be in that building and run salamanders. And
I was going to ask
used
you.
to fill them things up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I was Alan's little boy. I don't know if you remember me or not, but I spoke with you at Orangeburg 2 years ago.
Okay, well, I do. The name certainly rings a bell, and when I see your face, I know that I'll immediately recognize it. Are you going to the Grand American this year?
Yes, sir. We're going to go down there and hand some flyers out.
Okay.
And introduce ourselves to some vendors and stuff. We've got several vendors coming now, and we want all we can get. We got 2 buildings to fill up.
Well, there's a great building there that the vendors used all the time there, and then, of course, that parking lot there as you came in the fairgrounds and on the down to the left, it was always full of vendors up and down those paved roadways and so forth. And that hunt was really busting at the seams. But I don't imagine you'll have that many right to start. But I would say that if this hunt goes off well, and it looks like it's well organized at this point, I'm sure you've done the homework as far as getting, you probably get mostly local guides. The guys that are hunting will probably...
We've got about 80 guys already registered up to guide for us.
Well, I know my partners...
Over 300 dogs a night.
Awesome. Well, I think my partners, Mark Miller and Cody Fox from over around Taylorsville, they're planning to come, and I would think that they'd be wanting to guide maybe.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. But I know back in the day we'd send a cast as far as Taylorsville over there. And, my longtime plot buddy, little Ernie Roberts from Hidden Night. Did you know Ernie at all?
Probably so. I know a lot of people by face back then.
Yeah.
And Alan kept me working all the time. I didn't get to have much time to get to talk to nobody.
Well, while he's working you, then on Monday morning he'd be on the phone working me over at UKC.
He could talk.
Alan and I'd talk for hours sometimes. I really miss him.
I miss him, I tell you.
I
really
too.
do. We had a lot of good times together.
I could tell you some stories that I probably shouldn't tell on this podcast.
Oh, I can tell you a good one too.
Some of the hunts that we took. Oh,
all the thing I can tell you about Alan Shue, he'll never say please. He'll never answer to please. He'll never ask you to please do something for me. He'll tell you to do it.
That's right. That's right. Alan was a leader, and you had to know Alan.
If Alan Shue liked you, he'd give you the shirt off his back. If he didn't like you better stay away from him.
That's right.
That's just the way he was.
That's right. Now Jeff was toned down quite a bit. He was not quite, didn't get quite the personality that his daddy had, but
he was pretty good there for a while though.
Yeah, I imagine. They old saying, the acorn don't fall far from the tree.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, those are, I cherish the memory of Alan Shue. Glad I got to know him, considered him a very good friend, and had a lot of great conversations with him over the years. And then, of course, he, did have that, the Thursday night hunt at Southeastern was named in his honor. So, well, I sure hope Bobby Shive is certainly was certainly a worthy recipient, of this hunt, to have the hunt named after him. And I know anybody that knew Bobby liked him, and he was a great fella. And
I've never heard nobody say nothing bad about Bob Shive.
No, absolutely not.
And I'll tell you, about 3 months before he passed away, I'd go see him about every month or two and sit over there in his garage. He had some birds. He'd sit out there with the birds all the time in the summertime.
Uh-huh.
And I went over there and I was talking to him, and he told me, he said, Danny, I'm going to tell you, if I hadn't have gotten the shape that I got into with this being in a wheelchair, he said that Southeastern would have never left Salisbury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I believe what he said.
Yeah. Well, I worked with the registries for all those years, 30-some years, and I I try not to get too deep into the politics of things. The associations run themselves.
I know.
It's
I
their
don't try to cut
thing,
none
you
of them
know.
down.
But I also know, a lot of things. And we coon hunters, of all the hunters in the country, that number is shrinking. It's a small percentage of the overall population. And then when we look at coon hunting, it's a very small portion of the overall population of hunters. So there's really not very many of us anymore. And we need to stick together, and we need to support each other, and we need to look at the greater good, and that's where we fail a lot of times. We don't really think about, we think about what we want instead of what might be better for the whole,
It's
for
just
the
like,
sport.
I don't know if you read one of my posts here a few weeks ago, but I got sitting here in my living room thinking about this, and I posted that all these clubs in the North Carolina area should unite and support each other. And if you don't, it's going to die away.
Yes. Yeah. The old saying, it's a cliche, but it's true. There's strength in numbers. And all my legislative work over the years, if I could go into a legislative hearing or something and say, look, I represent this many people, this many clubs, this many organizations, and this is what we want. This is what we would like to see. It carries a lot more weight than me walking in there with a big ego and saying, I want you to do this for me. And so, yeah, I hope the clubs will listen to you, Danny, because you're absolutely on base, on track with that. For sure. And you just keep preaching it, brother. There'll be those.
Oh, I'm going to. I ain't giving up on nothing.
I love it. I
I'm
love that
72
fight.
years old, and it's hard for me to get to a tree. I finally went to one the other night to a young dog I got.
Yeah.
But when I set my mind to do something, I do it.
Yeah.
And like Alan Shue told me one time, he said, Danny, there's something about you I like. I just ain't figured it out yet. But when I started this hunt, I told Clyde Lyles, and I know you probably remember him.
Yeah.
I told Clyde, I said, well, maybe Alan understands what he liked about me now. That I don't give up.
Well, that's right. We can't quit,
I'm not going to quit till my last breath.
Well, as we get up in years, Danny, and I wish I could tell you it'll get better, but it won't. I've gotten to the point where it's a real chore for me to follow a dog anymore. I can go to the easy trees, but these go yonder deep and lonely dogs that we're hunting nowadays are way beyond my pay grade anymore.
Young man sport.
That's right. I've got one over there in Taylorsville that I'd love to be able to follow. Actually, we got a couple. We got a father-son deal. I don't want to talk about my dogs, but they're just dogs that I can't keep up with anymore, Mm-hmm. But thank God I've got good partners, to help me with them. And
you got to have them when we get our age.
That's right. That is right. Now, what town do you live in, Danny?
I live in Rockwell, which if you pulled out of Bob Shive's driveway and turned left, I live 1.5 miles on the same road he lived on.
I'll be. Okay. Yeah. So that's how far out of Salisbury? I've never been to Bob's home.
About 7, 8, 9 miles.
Oh, okay.
It's
well,
not
you're
very
right
far.
there close. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I always saw him there in the building there. We laugh about it. I told somebody the other day we were talking about Southeastern. I said, well, they're going to flood the entryway there and put the salamanders up so I'll feel like I'm coming home.
No,
we used to have to wade.
No salamanders this time.
We used to have to wade water to get in the building there.
We're just going to turn the electricity on, the heaters on.
There you go. I love it. Well, you're going to have a bench show, too, for all the bench show people out there.
1 o'clock on Saturday.
10 o'clock Saturday. Have you picked your judges? Pardon me?
1 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sorry. Check that, guys out there listening. That's 1 o'clock for the bench show. Have you picked your judge or judges for that yet?
What we're going to do, Curtis Sparks is going to help us.
All right.
We're going to get down to the finals, and there'll be a 3-panel judge.
Okay.
I want this thing fair. And we're going to have 3 judges there for the finals.
Okay. Well,
That
that's
way there, they can't nobody say somebody's showing favoritism.
right. Well, that's a hard thing, and we're asking for a judge's opinion of our dog, and no
Yeah.
two people going to see it exactly the same, and so yeah, we don't want to. All we want to do is promote the sport of coon hunting, and
right.
bench showing is a great gateway for young people and for the ladies. Of course, the ladies are about taking it over now.
Oh, yes.
Most of them are the dogs are shown by women anymore, but that's great, and it's a great addition to your event, and that sounds great. I see you got Value Pack on as a sponsor.
I do. Ronnie Mason, Raymond Boston has contributed 80 bags of Value Pack.
That's awesome.
And we're going to give away, let's see, on 10 bags on Thursday night to the top 10, 10 bags on Friday night to the top 10, 10 bags on Saturday night to the top 10. The final 4 will get another bag. And we're going to also donate some into the bench show.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah,
And
Ronnie
we're
Mace.
also going to pay the bench show, his and her, $250 a piece.
Ooh, that's good. There you go, show people. Get a little jingle. Put some gas prices coming down, so you can put more in the tank with that too.
We're gonna have, if we got a bunch of extra dog food, we're gonna add some more dog food to the bench show too. I just don't want to say how much because I don't know how many we're gonna have.
Understood for sure.
But I don't need it, and they've donated it, and we need to get that Value Pack name out there.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And Ronnie Mace is a longtime friend of mine. I don't know the other gentleman, I don't believe, but I've known Ronnie for a long time.
I know you know Raymond Boston.
Oh, yeah, I do know.
Ask him.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Good people.
He don't coon hunt anymore. He does go with me once in a while and go get my dog for me. But
yeah.
He just, he wanted to help, and he's going to be the master of ceremonies up there.
Oh, all righty. He'll be the man with the
talk.
Microphone.
He can talk.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Well, you mentioned Curtis, too. Curtis is a good hard worker, good man, solid guy.
Yeah. I like Curtis. I was on the board with him at the Southeastern.
Yeah.
And him and Dennis both I think the world of both of them.
Dennis Gardner's a great guy, and his wife is very, very sweet.
I had some good friends on the board at the Southeastern.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, we all got to pull together, as you said before. We got to support each other, that's for sure.
That's right.
Well, Danny Jones, I am so glad to be able to talk to you today and to have you on the podcast and talk about this Carolina Classic coming up. I'll urge all of my listeners, February is a time where it's still pretty much all snowed in up north and all, and you're looking for something to do, and cabin fever set in and all that. Come on down to the Carolinas now. Now, Danny, I don't believe you can guarantee that there won't be bad weather, but we've had some pretty good weather there in Salisbury.
I tell you that.
Well, the good Lord's in charge of that. That's one of the things that we can't control.
We have no control.
Absolutely, but
you won't be standing in a building with salamanders. You'll be in a heated building with plenty of chairs and tables to sit around, do all the talking you want to do.
Well, that's great, and I hope that
meet old friends.
Now that's the key right there to the whole thing, and I just hope those buildings are bulging to the rafters, and that you guys just have a wonderful time. Don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, but I do know that the dogs that I'm partnership on will be there, and we're looking forward to it, and it's just going to be a great time. Folks, again, I'm talking with Danny Jones. He is the grand high potentate of the Carolina Classic. He's the guy. President of the Trapp Hill Coon Hunters Association. That is our host for this event, January 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in Salisbury. That's a name all coon hunters, especially up and down the Eastern Seaboard recognize that name. Danny, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. I really appreciate it, and we'll try to get this out. This thing will probably play the Monday before Christmas, so listen in if you haven't listened to the Gone to the Dogs podcast before.
I have. I listened to it tonight the time you talked with Jim Meeks.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Jimmy's one of my buds. He's a guy that I'll look forward to seeing here in a few days at the Grand American. Well, Danny, you have a good night, and if there's anything we can help you with on the podcast and getting the word out, we'll be more than glad to do so.
Come on down and enjoy herself. Plenty of rooms to stay, plenty of food to eat, plenty of shopping malls for the women and the children.
What else?
They need to do, it's here.
But bring a coon dog because you want to get into some.
Them still around here.
Oh, that's good. Well, you want to get into the money and then the dog food and the trophies and all that goes with it. Danny, it's really been good to talk to you, brother. I appreciate you taking the time today.
I'll be looking for you at Orangeburg.
All right, Danny, come by and see me. I will be glad to visit with you. All right.
You take care, and thank you for calling.
Yes, sir.